All right, let's dive in. Today we're going to talk about the art and science of turning, just a bunch of abstract numbers into these powerful, easy to understand stories. And believe me, this is a skill that's more critical now than it has ever been. I mean, just think about it for a second. Every single day, we are just flooded with this massive tidal wave of data, right? We're talking statistics, figures, all sorts of metrics. It's kind of like being surrounded by a language you just don't speak. Yeah, the information is all there, but what does it actually mean? And this is what that raw data usually looks like. It's just a wall of numbers. Our brains are simply not wired to look at a spreadsheet like this and find any kind of pattern or meaning. It's totally overwhelming, it's confusing, and honestly, on its own, it's pretty much useless. So, what do we do? How do we make any sense of this mess? Well, this is where our visual lifeline comes in. We desperately need a way to translate that jumbled numerical language into something our minds can just get instantly. And that amazing, powerful translator? That's data visualization. Okay, so what is it exactly? Well, data visualization is basically the practice of taking all that data and turning it into graphical things, charts, graphs, maps. The whole point, the ultimate goal, is to transform that super complex information into a format that lets us immediately see patterns, trends, and all those little insights that would have been totally hidden otherwise. And, this whole practice really has two main goals. On one side, it's all about presenting data. Think of an infographic you'd see online. Its job is to tell a really clear, engaging story to a bunch of people. But then on the other side, it's about exploring data. This is where the experts use these complex, interactive displays to really dig deep, find hidden connections, and discover brand new insights. So, to do all this, we've got a whole toolkit at our disposal. And, just like a real toolkit in your garage, the absolute key is knowing which tool to pull out for which job. And this toolkit? It's full of some pretty familiar faces. We're talking bar charts, line charts, maps. You've seen them all. But here's the thing. Each one is like a specialized instrument designed to tell a completely different kind of story, even if it's using the exact same data. So, for example, a line chart is your absolute go-to for showing how something changes over time, like tracking stock prices or how the temperature changes throughout the year. Its real power is in showing you those trends, those ups and downs, those patterns. Now, a bar chart, on the other hand, is perfect when you want to compare different groups or categories, like which product sold the most units or which country has the bigger population. It works so well because our eyes are just naturally drawn to the length of the bars, so the comparison is instant. It's totally intuitive. See? Choosing the right chart is everything when it comes to making the story clear. Okay, so let's shift gears and look at a real-world case study. And this is one where data visualization became, critically important for literally everyone on the entire planet, visualizing the COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, think about the challenge here. The world was generating this just unimaginable amount of data every single day. So how could anyone, we're talking everyone, from top public health officials down to you and me, how could we possibly make sense of it all? The answer? It was through clear, simple visualizations. A chart just like this one, right? It compares cases by region, and boom, you instantly know where the impact is greatest. You don't have to dig through some massive, complicated table. The story is right there, clear as day, in just a single glance. And it wasn't just about tracking the spread of the virus either. I mean, do you remember seeing numbers like this one? A single, well-presented percentage showing vaccine efficacy. For most of us, that one number communicated a message of hope and effectiveness way, way better than some dense scientific paper ever could. It's just so simple, so direct, and incredibly powerful. And look, the stakes here could not have been higher. This wasn't just some academic exercise. This quote really says it all. Policymakers were looking at these visual dashboards to make literal life-or-death decisions. We're talking about lockdowns, where to send hospital beds, travel restrictions, the whole thing. Good, effective visualization was an absolutely essential tool in the global response. But, and this is a big but, this incredible power to clarify and persuade also comes with a massive responsibility. Because you have to remember, visualizations aren't just these neutral, objective windows into the data. They're crafted. They are designed. And that leads to a really critical question. What happens when a visual isn't actually designed to inform you, but to mislead you? And this can be totally intentional, to push some kind of agenda. Or It can even happen by accident, just through a bad design choice. Okay, take a look at this. We've got the exact same data presented in two totally different ways. On the left, you see an honest chart. See how the vertical axis, the y-axis, starts at 0? Now look at the right. That axis has been messed with. It's been truncated or cut off. All of a sudden, the difference between those bars looks massive, doesn't it? This is a classic trick. It dramatically exaggerates the story and is used all the time to distort how you see the facts. And this right here is why being able to read a chart is no longer some niche skill just for data analysts. Nope. In the world we live in now, just saturated with information, being able to critically read a chart is as fundamental as being able to read a sentence. We all need this skill. We all have to be able to spot when a visual might be trying to pull a fast one on us. So I'm going to leave you with this thought. The next time you see a chart, whether it's in the news, in a report, on social media, whatever, just pause. Take a second look. Ask yourself, okay, what story is this chart really trying to tell me? And maybe even more importantly, what story might it be hiding?